Welcome to Soul Healing, the podcast. This is a sacred space where Black women reclaim our power to heal, thrive, experience sacred joy, and make meaning of our lives. In this space, we explore ancestral wisdom, embodied spiritual practices, and the transformative magic that happens when we do the real, honest work of intergenerational soul-to-soul healing. I welcome you to today's episode, Portrait of a Wounded Healer. And so in this conversation, I will share 5 traits that often show up in the lives of wounded healers. Traits that can sometimes challenge us, but also hold the keys to our deepest growth. Together, we'll name these patterns, and I'll speak to the ongoing healing work, the consistent work, the intentional practices that we must engage in to soften the harm that we've internalized and to honor our unique positionality in this world as wounded healers. And so the topic of wounded healers came up for me last night as I was doing a card reading for myself. And so one of my favorite oracle cards right now, oracle card decks that I use right now is African Goddess Rising. I had to look at it quickly. A Bola Abrams card deck, and you can find it on Amazon, or you just do a Google search on it, but it is the African Goddess Rising Oracle card deck. And right now, this is one of the card decks that I work with a lot. But one of the cards in the deck that I pulled last night was Sekhmet, and Sekhmet is the wounded healer. And so I'll share the reading for that particular card, and then I'll share some attributes or some aspects of wounded healers. And so in this card deck, Sekhmet is the wounded healer, and she's the goddess of wounded healers. From Egypt, the temple is warriors, and her element is fire. Sekhmet is the fierce ancient Egyptian goddess of war, the sun, and healing. She carries life force in her palm with the power to both create or destroy. Sekhmet's guidance is to heal thyself. Everyone gets your best except you. You are a healer among your tribe. Stop putting your needs last. The embodiment. When did you decide to become a martyr? Take a breath. Wounded healers hold sadness, rage, fears, or brokenness. Being a warrior wasn't a choice for our beloved foremothers. They did the best they could, but being a goddess warrior for us is knowing that we have the choice not to fight all the time. And some deep dive questions. What are your swords, the weapons you use to fight? And what are your shields, the ways you defend yourself? Dare to lay the burdens down along with your swords and shields. And the goddess declaration is, it is safe to put myself first. And so let's settle in, and we're going to take this journey together in this brief exploration of a portrait of a wounded healer. And I think it's important that we understand within us what are some of the aspects and traits of being a wounded healer, and what is it that we're continuing to work on. And that's the thing that has been really fascinating, is that, and humbling, is that no matter how much work you've done in the past, and that's all good, you're always evolving, you're always growing, you're always in new situations and new experiences and new people, and people are evolving and growing and changing and shifting. And because of that, this work is so ongoing. But being able to identify within you where you're either being triggered, or where you're getting a refresher course, or where it's not you but you're personalizing it. So all of these things bring about this awareness of how to allow things to just flow, how to allow things to vibrate away from you, how not to hold on so tightly to mistakes, or so tightly to I had a bad day, or I was off, or I felt this particular way, or I can't let this thing go. And so when I was sitting down today, I thought about aspects of traits of wounded healer, and then the ongoing healing work in terms of mirroring that aspect or trait. And so the first one, aspect of trait, need connection. Wounded healers, they desperately need connection. However, the ongoing healing work is that we are afraid of connection, because connection is laced with disappointments. Okay. Therefore, we avoid connection. So the thing that we need the most, we tend to avoid because of the disappointments, because of the judgments, because of not feeling safe, and all of these things that we feel. And so that creates an imbalance. We need connection, but we avoid connection. We rather just be alone. I'd rather just be in my bubble, because I won't disappoint myself, but other people will. The second thing I thought about, avoid confrontation. You'll find a lot of wounded healers avoid confrontation at all costs. That it just, when we finally snap off, y'all done really got on our fucking nerves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we avoid confrontation at all costs. We close our throat chakra. We'll walk away. We'll again disconnect, disengage. And so the ongoing healing work around that is using our voice often, confronting harm each and every time, even if it makes you look like the bad guy. Even if it makes you look like the bad guy, even if it makes you look over emotional, even if it makes you look overly sensitive, even if it makes you look any particular way, if you are feeling it, if you are feeling harmed, if you are feeling disrespect, if you are feeling not in alignment, and how do you know? Your body tells you. So speak up and speak out often. And that's the healing work. That's our ongoing healing work. Not to avoid, but to speak up and out. Another aspect or trait of wounded healing, difficulty following our intuition, following our first mind, especially when it comes to those we love. And so we have to trust that quiet inner voice that says no, that quiet inner voice that says, I'm too tired to do this, the quiet inner voice that says, no, don't go into that situation. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if you looking standoffish. I don't care. This is not for you right now. So trust that you know what's best for you. trust that you know what's best. And that's our ongoing work, is to trust that we know what's best. Because each and every time Spirit shows us, the situation shows us, see, you didn't go with your first mind. See, you're in this because you didn't trust. See? And so that's our ongoing work. Another aspect of wounded healers is that we give it all away. We give away our time, our energy, our love. We are overconsumed, and we are constantly pouring from an empty vessel. Again, especially for those we love. And so the ongoing work is prioritizing needs of self, honoring and expecting reciprocity. That's the ongoing work. Honoring and expecting reciprocity. Again, not reciprocity in a way of I do this for you, you do this for me. It is in a way that I am giving of my time and my energy and my love, and I am expecting some type of energetic exchange. Everybody can't do one for one. Everybody can't do financial exchange, but there has to be something that is being poured back into you, or you are out of order. You're out of order, not them, but we get mad at everybody else. Oh, I'm such a giving person. Oh, I just, oh no, you're out of order. Because if you don't expect anything, you're not going to get anything. That's not how it works. You're out of order. And the last one that I came up with is that we have difficulty forgiving. And that difficulty in forgiving is lack of compassion for self. Because a lot of times we'll be mad at others because we haven't created the clear boundaries. No, that ain't others. That's you. You're out of order. And it takes so much courage to create clear boundaries. It takes a lot of courage to say no. It takes a lot of courage to choose you first. It takes a lot of courage to expect something in return for your energy, for your time, for your guidance, for your wisdom. And so that lack of compassion is for ourselves. That lack of forgiveness is for ourselves. And so that ongoing healing work is filling our wounds, because we are wounded healers. We feel our wounds really, really deeply. But being able to let go, forgive, and not internalize the harm is our work. We get mad at people who cause us harm, or who judge us, or who say fuck shit to us, and and we get mad. But why are we in that space? And if we are going to make the conscious choice to be in that space, then, and knowing who, it's like, okay, I need to be resourced, because I know at any point in time this person may say some fuck shit. And so in order for me not to internalize it, I need to be resourced, and I need to be clear about why I'm in this space, or not, or make the conscious choice not to be in this space. And so again, that comes back to us. And then not internalizing if they do say or do some fuck shit, being able to forgive yourself and forgive them. And that's work. And that's hard work for wounded healers. Very hard work for wounded healers. And so those were like 5 aspects or traits that I sat with that said, yep. And some of the ongoing healing work. And this is, when I say ongoing, this is work that we'll always be doing as wounded healers, acknowledging our wounding, and at the same time leaving space for healing. And so I invite you to sit with the concept of being a wounded healer. Sit with how that feels in your body, how those words feel in your body. Sit with the ways that you have navigated your own life and your own journey from a space or a place of wanting and needing to be that healer, coming here to be that healer, showing up as that healer, and still embodying the harm of of the wounds. A lot of times it is those wounds that are the catalyst for us to do our own healing work. And speaking for myself, the catalyst to do my own healing work, and then see that, want to be that for others, want to be that catalyst of healing for others. However, that comes with boundaries. It has to come with boundaries, and it has to come with the ongoing work of creating balance within ourselves, because we can't pour from an empty cup. We can't give to others what we are still trying to cultivate within ourselves. So it's also a practice and a work of being mindful about our own capacity. And when we have reached that capacity, and what that means to have sacred boundaries. And so I want to thank you for joining me. This is a brief podcast, but I want to spark conversation. And I'm hoping that this conversation about the portrait of a wounded healer gives you something to reflect on a bit. And if you're interested in going a little bit deeper and understanding the historical aspects of some of our wounding, I invite you to look at a lot of the course offerings, so the on-demand course offerings that I have within the Journey Institute, as well as a live course that I am currently facilitating. We just started last week, and so if you are still interested in joining us, then just reach out to me. Just email me. I can be reached at dr.kimberlyj69@gmail.com, or reach out to me on any of my socials, and we could talk about getting you into the course. And so until next time, remember, our healing journey is sacred, our joy is revolutionary, and our souls have always known the path to intergenerational healing. Talk to you all soon.